good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today we got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Psyonix will continue to work with and update Rocket League rather than making sequels. Now this is something that isn't necessarily unheard of. We've seen it before with Minecraft, but here is what they had to say as far as Rocket League potentially getting sequels or just continuous updates. What's going to happen with this game? This is coming from an interview with Engadget, and this is Jeremy Dunham from Psyonix. Quote, "We're not trying to build 6 Rocket Leagues. We're not looking forward to when Rocket League 2 and 3 and 4 are coming out. Rocket League is the game we're going to keep updating. It's important to us to keep that going, cross-generation, across multiple platforms without sacrificing anything." So this is something that I think a lot of other developers, especially small developers, can work towards, right? You put out a base product, it's online multiplayer, you can add stuff in, there's all sorts of little things like DLCs that you can add, costumes, different cars, racers, things like that, modes. Just keep on adding to the package, then every now and then you can have like a complete edition, or you can have something that comes out every a year and a half or every 2 years, right? Or a new platform comes out and you put that on that new platform so people can start playing on there. I think with the Nintendo Switch, as far as that version that's coming, it's going to have exclusive content for the Nintendo Switch version of it. It's going to be the only version of the game that you can pretty much play on the go in addition to home when it comes to home consoles. So I think that there's a lot of things to be said about what they're doing here, to where it's like, okay, well, PS4 and Xbox One, in the time that it's been since like we get Rocket League on the Nintendo Switch, there hasn't been like a Rocket League 2, and now we're only getting Rocket League 1. It's like, okay, well, we're getting the full Rocket League experience in addition to all the stuff that they've already added. So I can see what they're doing there. Minecraft is the same way, right? And there's also other stuff that you can do. You don't necessarily have to make a sequel, but you can branch off and make a different type of game. Like Minecraft has like the Minecraft story mode. They have that, which is not the same as the regular Minecraft game. So the Rocket League people could decide to do something like that, like have a completely different thing that's separate from Rocket League. But they've sold so much, it's going to sell more on the Nintendo Switch. You guys better go out there and buy that game because it's perfect for the Nintendo Switch's dual capabilities of a portable and a home console. I think it's going to look great, it's going to run great, so I'm looking forward to seeing how Rocket League does, in addition to playing it myself. I have it on my Xbox One, but I'd much rather have it on a system that's portable, in addition to that you can play it at home. And I can't wait to see what other developers have, because this isn't the end of it, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. SEGA says that they're not worried about splitting the market with Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces launching this year. So SEGA does have 2 brand new games. One of them will be more of the classic pixel art 2D style of Sonic Mania. Then the next one is going to be 2D in some of the sections, but also 3D as well. Fully nice looking characters as far as the graphics go. PS4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch. So obviously they're trying to target 2 different markets here, because you're going to have the 3D Sonic gameplay behind the back view in addition to the 2D, whereas Sonic Mania is just complete old school 2D with like ROM hack type of levels. So obviously they have 2 different bases here, but SEGA wants to let you guys know that they're not worried about it splitting the market or anything like that. So here's what they had to say in a recent interview. Quote, "It's like asking, will a Sonic fan only buy one Sonic game? We think they occupy different audiences. Initially, we wanted to appeal to the core fan. We want to deliver a strong experience that's going to immediately give such strong and instant gratification, if you like, and then we want to appeal to a broader audience, which is where Forces comes in. But who'd have thought that the retro-looking game developed by Christian Whitehead and the team he's put together, a community developer, and the Sonic team developing Sonic Forces, that for us is a real step change. It's something we wouldn't have expected to see, say, 10 years ago. That in itself was very exciting for us, and hopefully for the fans as well. And I think this is probably the most exciting year for Sonic fans in a very long time. So the early impressions so far, obviously we need to wait till the full thing comes out, but the early impressions is that Sonic Forces isn't necessarily too bad. Now it does look a little stiff in some areas or not, and I think that they're still working on the game, but overall I think we can safely say that it might be as good as Colors. We still need to wait for the full product, and of course Sonic Mania, based on what everyone has played, saying that that's really good. So this is probably the most exciting time to be a Sonic fan. And I'm not completely on board yet, right? I'm not completely on board. I'm not saying that I'm going to buy these games and they're going to be really good. I want to wait and see. I want to see the reviews. I want to see my own play time with it. I want to make sure that I can get a feel for the game before I start recommending it and all of that. Pretty sure I'm going to get a review copy at some point, but at the same time I think a lot of Sonic fans can see that there's a little bit better quality being put into this Sonic game than we've seen before in the past. In addition to that, we also have the really cool aspect of Sonic Forces, with the customization that they have in the game. That could be something to where that could add more replay to the game as far as the replay value goes. I'm not super excited or completely on the bandwagon yet, but the more we see about the game, the more we hear about what's going on with it as far as how all the versions are going to play and how everything's going to be, the more that maybe I can get myself to get excited and get ready for it. But I do feel that it looks better initially than a lot of the other Sonic games that have come out within the past 10 years or so. Alright guys, and moving on to the last article here. Once again, we have another Nintendo Switch raffle line or Nintendo Switch lottery type of line to where you can get into line for a chance at winning a Nintendo Switch. That's how bad things are when it comes to the system sales. Even coming off of a 40,000 or almost 40,000 sale week last week, there's still tons and tons of people that want to get a Switch. In one line, apparently there was around almost 1,000 people waiting, some of them with their umbrellas, so I think it was possibly raining, just so they can get a Nintendo Switch. But it does look a little rainy. That's the reason why they have that there. But either way, I think that, once again, Nintendo, the biggest priority, right, is getting the stock out, because you have all these people waiting in line in order to get a Nintendo Switch, because to them, it's the successor to the 3DS. To them, they see new Pokemon game being announced. They see Disgaea. They see all of these different games as far as that's coming to the Nintendo Switch, and 3DS is still getting some content, but it's being pared back. You've got Monster Hunter Double Cross coming out in Japan in August, so that's obviously going to be huge for them and is going to help, but Nintendo really needs to make sure, because they've said this before, but they really need to make sure that they get those restocks going, especially for Splatoon 2. That's going to be big. You don't want someone to walk into a store and not be able to buy Splatoon 2 because they don't have a Nintendo Switch. That would be really bad. So hopefully they really upgrade the stock like they said that they're going to do and get as many as they can, because Splatoon 2 is going to be big and you're going to need more than 37,000. Like, you're going to need more than 40,000 units or whatever this shipment was. You're going to need more like 90 to 100,000 for Splatoon 2. And then for Monster Hunter Double Cross, you're going to need almost about that amount, maybe a little bit less, but you're going to need a lot of consoles out there. There's a lot of people that are still waiting to get this. And to me, like I've said before, you know, I don't want to turn it into another third-party discussion as far as what that goes and all that, because it's just been kind of like beating a dead horse at this point. But these sales and all this is going to lead to that. This right here is more powerful, more impactful than any silly video, than any type of crying or complaining on Twitter, is this. When developers see this, this gets them more excited to make their games, because they know that they're going to have a huge install base in order to sell to. Japanese developers are taking note of this. They're seeing the sales. They're seeing, okay, people are buying the system. We have a chance as far as if we release our game. There's a big enough pool of people that can potentially buy the game. The more people in the pool to buy the game, the more chances you have for your game to sell better. So this is more powerful than anything out there. The sales, that's the biggest thing. And I feel that if Nintendo obviously can get those restocks that they said that they promised that they were going to do, which I think that they will, if they get those restocks out there, people can go out there, get a Switch, especially with Splatoon 2 dropping next month, which is going to be big. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of movement. We've seen Level 5 come out, we've seen Gung Ho come out, Pledge Support, saying that they have design docs ready and games already in development for the Nintendo Switch. Even thinking about bringing over Puzzle and Dragon Z. That's already more games than both of those companies released for the Wii U, which they didn't really release any games for the Wii U. They only released games for the 3DS. So even the 3DS developers are taking this as the successor to it, which is fine by Nintendo, because people are still buying 3DS in Japan, and now people are buying Nintendo Switch in Japan, and that's transferring over obviously to the United States. America, it's still selling very well. A lot of people have been sending me pictures saying that they still can't find a Switch, or they get a Switch, there's barely any in stock. People are waiting out there as far as when the shipments come in, and they're gone in about an hour or so. In my opinion, this is going to be powerful as far as the developers, showing that people are picking up the system, that there's going to be a wide base of users, and that it's going to continue not only for 2017 but into 2018, 2019. And we get all of these announcements and we get all this stuff because of how well the Nintendo Switch is doing. I'm just going to sit back and say, I told you so. This is what's going to cause the system as far as to get more people on board. Seeing systems being sold out, seeing people recommending it, the social media traffic, everything just kind of generates to that. And I think that we're going to see a lot of developers start announcing their projects, especially in Japan more than anywhere else. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered in to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to Discord voice chat and $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Splatoon 2, ARMS, and so much more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.